Hey guys, what's up? This is Mackenzie Criswell with another awesome tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about animation presets in After Effects. Real quick, if you don't know what animation presets are, animation presets is a concept. It's pretty simple actually. If you're there's a lot of mundane tasks that people do in After Effects a lot of times to almost every project they work on, and a lot of core effects that build up that task. And so the idea is, the example I'm using here is color correction. There's a certain number of effects that I almost always put on any layer that I'm color correcting. And so what would be nice is if instead of constantly dragging on different effects, trying to do stuff, what I could do is just drag on one effect, everything would be there, I could push some buttons, and I'd be ready to go. And that's what animation presets try to do. So let's just do that. So I'm going to delete all these effects here, and you can see I've just got kind of a raw time lapse that I shot not too long ago. It's not loading that fast. This is 4K and raw, so we're not, but that's not a big deal here. So what we'll do is we'll get some effects ready. So something I would almost always do is I grab a curves, and I do some work in the shadows. I try to add some contrast in the midtones, work on that a little bit, make it a little more interesting. In this instance, I might do something with the highlights to just brighten it up a little bit. It's just not all that, it's a little murky of an image. And then I might throw on another curves just to overall brighten it up some. I don't know. This way would take a while doing, but then I would probably do human saturation. Probably just bump all the colors up overall. And then I actually want to see some more of this orange, so I'd probably do something kind of like that. Maybe that's a bit much. Who cares? So yeah, looking nice. This is pretty terrible grade so far, but who cares? And then I might add some grain. And then probably at that point I'd realize that I just want it in black and white anyways, and I'd put a tint on it. So these are just a few of kind of the starting building blocks that I would almost always be putting on a layer regardless to do the color. So what I'll do is I'll reset all of these to their default, and then I'll close them up. So what I now have is a group of 4 or 5 effects that I always use, and I'll turn the tint off so we can see the color, or almost always use. And what I would like to do is, instead of having to drag these all on at once, I can do something. I think I've got one saved here so that you can see kind of how it works. I search up my effect, and we're good to go. So that's how that works. I'll go ahead and just Control Z or Command Z until I get back to the effects. Okay, there we go. These are all reset, and these are my effects. And what I'll do, so you want to select all of these effects, and then come up to the animation window and choose Save Animation Preset. And by default, After Effects, unless you change it, which I have, will take you to a folder inside of the After Effects folder somewhere in here. I think this is the right folder, and it'll want to save the preset right here in After Effects. And that's cool because actually what it'll do is just right over here under animation presets, there'll be something called user presets if you create any. I think I might. Yeah, no, I haven't done any, but it'll create a nice folder called user presets, and that's where it'll save by default. And that's really easy because you can access your presets really quickly, and you don't have to do anything else. You're good to go. But what we're actually a little more interested in is saving this in a way so that we can put it on the internet and share it with people who also might want to use it. So what we'll do is we'll again come up to the animation and choose Save Animation Preset. And I'll put this on the desktop for the time being, and I'll just do this standard color correction stack. And so what you can see is it'll actually just save this right here onto our desktop. And that's actually all you need to do. You can just send this FFX file across the internet. I believe it opens on PC, Mac, regardless of the operating system it's created on. If After Effects ran on Linux, it'd probably do that too. But what's a bit tricky is telling people how to install it. So here's the effect file. And what we'll do is we'll come over to applications, and this is where it gets a little tricky. And so what I'll do is I'll cover PC and Mac, because most Linux systems actually, the folder structure is almost identical to one of the two. So we'll open up applications here in After Effects. To do this on a PC, you want to go to the computer folder and then to program files. You want to open up your hard drive, and there should be a folder in there somewhere called program files. And there'll actually be two. One is in parentheses and it says x86. But After Effects is 64-bit, so it'll be in the first folder. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Anyways, you'll get to a folder called After Effects CC, or whatever version you're using, and you want to just open it right up. And let's see. So then you'll get a couple of folders. You'll get one called Plugins, one called Presets. And for this, we'll actually need to go ahead and close After Effects. So what a lot of people don't tell you is you can actually drop this effect file into either folder, the presets or the plugins. However, the plugins in the menu is actually a lot less cluttered because there's mostly plugins here, so they show up in the plugin menu, not the preset menu. So dropping a preset into preset folder is good because that's where it goes, and this would be where the user presets folder would be created, and so you can actually just Command C, Command V that in there. But what I'm going to do is actually put this in the plugins folder. Now, as you can see here, there's actually a folder with my name on it, and then a little folder structure. And this is actually maintained through After Effects. So if you set up a folder system, it's going to stay there when you open up After Effects. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this preset in my folder where I put all the presets that I create. And so I'll do another new folder and call this color grading. And I'll just drop right in the standard color correction stack. And that's it. Let's fire After Effects back up real quick. Okay, and so now once we're back inside of After Effects, we want to go ahead and try out this preset. So let me delete all these effects, and if you come right here to the animation presets, you can actually just drop down and see where they are. There's a user preset we created, but remember mine are in the plugins folder, and you'll see that's it. All we have is two folders, something that was already here. What is this? Okay, oh, I remember what that is. That's something else, but what we'll do is we'll come to my name, and then we'll choose color grading, and here's the preset we just created. Drop it on, we're good to go. Now, of course, I turned the tint off, so yeah, there we go. So that's really just how you create a preset really quickly. If that's all you want to know, go ahead and jump out of this video, like or comment if you feel so inclined. Ask any questions. But real quick, I'm just gonna explain just something a little bit more about presets. Right, so what I wanted to explain is that After Effects presets actually work the same way that plugins do. They need to be able to be read across the different versions of the system. Whenever there's an update, the update needs to be able to still read the preset, and the older version still needs to be able to read the preset so that everyone using any version can still access it. So the easy way to make sure that you're in the right boat is as you would with like a Word document or something. You just create the file in an older version. So for example, if you're using whatever the current Microsoft Office is, but you've created a document in Word 2003, you can still open that in the current Word. However, it doesn't go backwards. If you create a version in the current Word, you can't open that in Word 2003. So how do we do that with After Effects? It's actually a lot less to worry about, especially with almost everyone on the Creative Cloud platform now. It's very easy to make sure that everyone is on pace, but you still want to have some leeway for those people that are behind a few updates, or just for whatever reason haven't got the new stuff. I just put that somewhere. There it is. And so the easy way to do that is to make sure that you're running an old version of After Effects. Now, a few years ago, I think most of the companies developed plugins and presets for CS3 and up. It's been a few years, and mostly everyone's on Creative Cloud now, so it's a little different. But Adobe actually does make it very easy to get your hands on older versions, and that is on their official Adobe website. I'll include a link to this down below. What you can see here is you actually have full access to versions CS2 and up of any After Effects products. If we open up the CS3 page here in another tab, you can see we have access to all the different collections, as well as a few of the big apps that people download. You can see here, it's just a 1 gig download to get After Effects CS3, or you can download the entire collection of their software for 4 gigs. So not huge files. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but you just click to download. For example, if I want After Effects CS3, click right here. And now we're downloading After Effects CS3. You just put in the key code, good to go. Now, one more thing to mention is that actually Adobe has actually stopped maintaining some older versions of software. So CS2 and older is actually 100% free. So for developing small elemental plugins and presets that don't really take a lot of load from the system, that don't really utilize any of the really new features of After Effects. Let me get out of this. The best thing to do is probably to go ahead and grab one of these free copies of CS2 right here. As you can see, it wants your Adobe login immediately. And let me just do this. And then after you do that, you accept some terms really quickly, and now you have full access to everything CS2. So what this is After Effects. You can see they give you a product number right here. You grab the DMG file, just straight download it, you're good to go. So that's something to keep in mind. But if that's all I got. So hopefully you enjoyed the tutorial, learned something. If you liked it, feel free to like, comment, like I said, or don't.